Okay, chapter 1. Yeah? Living in fear of what's already here. Most people don't realize they're already standing in the presence of God. They live their entire lives waiting for a moment, a lightning strike, a bright light, a booming voice from the sky that will finally convince them that they've met God. They think meeting God is a one-time extraordinary event, something reserved for saints or for the dying. But what if I told you that you've already met God many, many times? You met God when you forgave someone who never said sorry. You met God in the quiet moment before sleep when your soul whispered, I want peace. And still, you waited. We've been taught that God is far away, that we have to earn his presence, qualify for his love, or fear his judgment. That God will arrive when we're holy enough, clean enough, broken enough, desperate enough. So we live afraid. Afraid we're too flawed. Afraid we're too late. Afraid we'll never be good enough to truly know God. And in that fear, we miss what's already here. Because God isn't waiting for you on a mountaintop or at the end of your life. God is already in the hallway with you, in the tension before the breakthrough, in the forgiveness you can't quite give, in the tears you didn't let fall. God is in the stillness behind your breath, the whisper behind your questions. I know this now, but for years, I didn't. I prayed out of fear more than faith. I tried to get it right. I wondered if my past would block my path to the divine. I thought that maybe if I was lucky, I'd one day get a glimpse of God at the very end. But that was before I left this body, before I saw truth that always has been present. You see, God doesn't come closer when you die. God becomes clearer when you finally let go of fear. And this is what this book is really about. Not about one moment when I met God, but the many, many moments I know I did. And the many, many more you have too without realizing. I remember the time in my life when I was desperately trying to be good. Not for the sake of peace, but because I thought that what God needed from me before he showed up, I measured myself constantly. My choices, my past, my words, wondering if I was worthy enough to be seen by God. And still, I waited. Then one day I passed a woman. Wow, this is a touching one. One day I passed a woman sitting on a corner. She looked tired. Tired in a way I recognized, not just in her body, but in her spirit. Life had worn her down. I didn't have much, but I felt something rise inside me. A quiet push to acknowledge her, not just to rush past her. So I stopped. I sat next to her for a moment and I asked her name. I did not try to fix her or save her. I just shared a moment of presence, a moment of dignity, a moment of love by acknowledging her. And I know now that I met God that day. Not in the sky, not in a flash of miracles, but in the eyes of a stranger who simply needed to be seen. But I didn't know it at the time because I still believed God was something I had to reach. What a tender trap we fall into, waiting for a divine encounter, not realizing that we're surrounded by them. Every time we love, we're in the presence of God. Every time we choose mercy, we are meeting the divine. Every time we say yes to what feels right in the soul, we are pushing up against heaven. Fear tells us God is far away, but love keeps proving otherwise. At the end of each chapter, there's a soul reflection there. And the reason why I did this book like this, because I don't want you to just read a book in tangent. I want you to read a book and get a chance to pause at your own time, at your own pace, and reflect back to your life, because this is meant to be healing for you. It's not meant for you to just read another story. This is your story unfolding. It's a mirror of what you're going through, and I want you to take your time. Get your own copy of On My Way to Meet God. It's a book that helps you to reflect on your life now, understanding that you are divinely being choreographed in every scene of your life, that you are divinely supported, that every disappointment that you think is not for you is God preparing you for something greater, that every breakup, everything that you think, oh my gosh, that job, I prepared for it, why did they not call me back? It's because that job will deplete your soul, it will deplete your energy, and God says, that's not the job for you. I'm preparing you for something greater. Whatever you're going through in your life, whatever the dark moment is, whatever it is, know that there's a lesson in between there. And while you're crawling through the darkness, the little flicker of light that you see that's carrying you through that, there's a godness in there. The soul reflection says, have you ever found yourself waiting for a sign or a moment to feel close to God? And you have notes. Write it down. Personalize it. This is something for you to keep for yourself as you heal. And the next one says, what if you've already experienced that moment but missed it because it came wrapped up in something ordinary? Because we've been taught to think that we're looking for grandeur and bright lights and lightning strikes and thunderbolts. But that's not the way God represents itself. That's not how I experience it. God is in the very minute moments, the very subtle smile when you're almost breaking down to cry, and you glance across at somebody who smiles at you. That's the godness, reminding you, tapping you on the shoulder, I've got you. The child who cries just when you're in a thought that's so deep and so traumatic to distract you from the thought that you're in. The person who, we would say, who goes crazy on the road and just gets you back to your moment, your now moment. Don't be angry about it. Understand that there's God in every single thing that you experience in this life. Your life is being choreographed, scene by scene. There's no scene that's wasted. Nothing is an accident. Get your own copy of this book. This is what it is about, reminding you every single moment where you meet God. You don't have to die to meet God. Not the way I almost did. Not the way so many almost did. And you don't need to struggle either. And you don't need to be perfect. You just simply need to be you. And check yourself in that mirror. You are perfectly made. You are worthy, just like anyone else. Get your own copy On My Way to Meet God. I'll leave the link here. It's the first time that I'm pushing a book out like this because I co-wrote this with divine beings, and the world needs to understand you are love and you deserve On Your Way to Meet God in every waking breath. See you in the next video.